Most people do not have the patience to wait a few seconds for the elevator doors to shut, so they push the close button to speed up the process. However, some say this feature has been obsolete since the 1990s, suggesting the button is a complete fake. It will not close the doors any faster. Experts reveal that there are numerous buttons in the world that do not live up to their name but are present to make us feel in control. The Americans with Disabilities Act was passed in 1990, mandating that elevators stay open long enough for someone with a physical disability, such as on crutches or in a wheelchair, to make it inside. Karen W. Penefiel, Executive Director of National Elevator Industry Incorporated, told Christopher Mew with the New York Times in an interview, although these buttons are useless to the average person, they do perform their proper function for firefighters and maintenance workers, but only with a code or designated keys. Penefiel explains, since an elevator's lifespan is around 25 years, it is safe to say that a majority, if any, do not have a functioning close button, but the open button works when it is pushed. As bizarre as it seems to place fake buttons in an elevator or other devices, they are there for good reasons. Perceived control is very important. Ellen J. Langer, a psychology professor at Harvard University who has studied the illusion of control, told Meal in an email, it diminishes stress and promotes well-being. Another expert, John Kaunias, a psychology professor at Drexel University in Philadelphia, said that these buttons are there to add an illusion of control. If they weren't, people would feel a lack of control, which is linked to depression. And those people who know the little white lie will still continue to push these decoy buttons because the doors eventually close, and that is the desired reward, he said. However, elevators aren't the only deceitful devices. Crosswalk signals in New York City are also on the list. The New York Times revealed in 2004 that the Big Apple pulled the plug on a majority of its pedestrian buttons long ago as a result of computer-controlled traffic signals. City figures state that out of the 3,250 crosswalk buttons, 2,500 of them were replaced with mechanical placebos or non-functioning mechanisms. The reason the buttons are still in place is because it costs about $1 million to remove them. But New York City isn't alone in this letdown, as ABC conducted a survey in 2010 that found only one working crosswalk button in Austin, Texas, Gainesville, Florida and Syracuse, New York. Depending on where you work, you may not want to trust the thermostat that everyone has access to. In 2003, the Air Conditioning, Heating and Refrigeration News found that many offices installed dummy thermostats. 51 out of 71 people in the survey confirmed their office in fact has one. One respondent, David Trimble of Fort Collins, Colorado, wrote the news that individuals felt better that they have the ability to control the temperature in the office following the installation of a decoy thermostat. This cut down the number of service calls by over 75%, he wrote.